Let's talk about something we all feel sometimes, but almost never want to admit. That feeling of being, well, broken. If that sounds familiar at all, then this one's for you. We're going to look at that feeling from a totally new angle.
Seriously, take a moment and think about it. Have you ever had that feeling deep down that something inside of you has just completely shattered?
It's such a powerful way to put it, right? It's not just that something's wrong, it's that you feel like the damage is visible. You can see all the ugly lines and they feel permanent. You try to glue the pieces back, but the cracks are always there.
We're basically taught our whole lives that the goal is to be perfect, whole, unbroken. But that's just an impossible standard. So what if being broken isn't the end of the story? What if it's actually just part of the journey?
To really dig into this idea, we're going to look at something amazing. A beautiful Japanese art form that offers a completely different, and I think much healthier, way to think about our own breaks and our own healing.
Okay, so what is kintsugi? The name literally means golden joinery. And it's exactly what it sounds like. When a beautiful piece of pottery breaks, artisans don't just throw it away or try to hide the damage. Instead, they carefully mend the pieces with a special lacquer mixed with real gold.
And this is where it gets really profound. The whole point isn't to disguise the break. It's to highlight it, to celebrate it. Those cracks filled with gold become a beautiful part of the object's history. It's considered more valuable, more beautiful, because it was broken and repaired.
And this is such a perfect metaphor for our own lives, right? Think about it. Our minds, our hearts, they're like that bowl. And the things that shatter us, the trauma, the loss, the heartbreak, we try so hard to hide those cracks, to pretend they never happened. But kintsugi shows us there's another way.
Okay, so what does this all mean for us, really? It means we start looking for the gold in our own cracks. It means we start to understand how our struggles, the very things that broke us, can actually become our greatest strengths.
So, let's break down 4 ways that our cracks actually become our strengths. Think of these as the golden threads that can put us back together, but better. First up, your cracks give you empathy. Think about it. How can you really truly get what someone else is going through if you've never been through something tough yourself? When you've navigated your own darkness, you're so much better equipped to hold a light for someone else. It's not a flaw, it's a credential. It's a qualification for compassion. Okay, second big point. You rebuild stronger. And this isn't just some nice, fluffy idea. It's a real psychological thing called post-traumatic growth. It's the idea that going through a crisis actually forces you to develop positive changes you wouldn't have otherwise. You don't just bounce back, you're forced to build new skills, find new perspectives. You literally become stronger at the broken places. Third, and this is a huge one, your priorities do a complete 180. Look at this. Before a crisis, so many of us are just chasing external things. We want approval, we want to look perfect, we want to be productive. But when things fall apart, all that noise gets stripped away. And you start to realize what actually matters. Genuine connection, being your authentic self, finding some inner peace. And finally, your story just gets so much more interesting. Let's be real. A life without any struggle is kind of flat, right? It's the setbacks, the scars, the moments you thought you wouldn't get through. Those are the plot twists. They're what make your life an epic story of resilience. And that's a story worth telling.
All right, so we get the why. The philosophy is beautiful. But what about the how? How do we actually do this? How do we start finding the gold in our own lives? Let's get practical.
It really boils down to 3 key steps. You have to start with being kind to yourself. Then, you change the story you're telling yourself about what happened. And finally, you actively look for the lessons, the gold, hidden in the pain.
So let's talk about reframing your story. A lot of us get stuck here, right? We identify with the damage. We tell ourselves, I am broken. Like it's a permanent fact, like it's who we are now.
But what if you just changed one word? Try saying this instead. I am healing. See the difference? One is a permanent state. The other is a process. You are not your damage. You are the person who is moving through it, actively healing. The difference is huge.
And this is how you find that gold. You start asking yourself some really important questions. Don't just see the pain, see the purpose. Ask, what did I learn from this? How did this experience, as awful as it was, maybe make me a little wiser, or a little kinder, or a lot stronger? That's where you'll find the value.
So as we start to pull all this together, just remember this. You are not a problem to be fixed. You're a masterpiece in progress. The goal isn't to get back to some perfect state from before.
And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? Being okay isn't about being perfect. It's about getting to a place where you can look at your beautiful, complicated, gold-filled self, scars and all, and realize you wouldn't trade who you are now for that simpler, unbroken version of you from before.
Which leads us to this last, incredibly powerful thought. Those cracks, they're not just the evidence of your damage. They're the very places where your resilience, your character, your true self was forged. They're where you became you.
So I want to leave you with this question to carry with you. Take a look at your own history. Don't see the cracks as flaws you need to hide. See them